There it is, all in, ready to be wired up. Next step, here we go. Okay, another day back out in the shop. We are in California winter here. We got the heater running up there, heater down there. It was about 50 degrees or so in the shop. We took a day off away from you guys, back at it today. I think that today we're going to try to get the engine wiring harness in, start plumbing in some of the breather lines, all that good stuff. As you can see, we're filling up quickly up here. Probably have seen already that we got our shifter geometry figured out for our transfer case shifters and get that knocked out. We're sending the design over to Phil at Central Coast CNC. He's going to work with us on an actual custom design for a billet set of shifters for our Dana 300 transfer case. We'll get that in a video for you soon, show you kind of the process, what it takes to actually design CNC custom machine parts. Today's flavor, let's cruise around here. Things are starting to warm up a little bit. It's getting a little better. Wiring harness. This is the engine wiring harness. The ECU is still at the shop getting flashed, so we'll have to mount that whenever it comes back in. But I think we have plenty of room on the back side of the cowl firewall, which is going to go here. We'll get that knocked out. As soon as we get that back, we might also today tackle the secondary brace for the brake pedal, so we get that double shear piece in here. Been neglecting it. We just moved on to other stuff. Kind of got squirreled a little bit on that, but it is what it is. So back on it today. It's just me out here with y'all. We'll see what we can get done. Be back with you in a minute. All right, here we are back inside the car trying to figure some stuff out. I know it's a little echoey. Sorry about that. I think we're going to put this control switch panel right up here. Got some marks made. The little upward marks that you can see there for the screw holes. That's where the top of the fuse panel will be. Where the top of the switch panel will be. I have to cut out so that this will fit through, and then to fix it with the four little screws there, that'll stick on there. That should make us so the power on, start. I'll have two auxiliary switches, probably to a relay of some sort. Run stuff like the rock lights and the front lights, or we'll put the front lights and the rock lights on one and have a secondary switch for something there. We'll get those knocked out. I think we're going to end up putting that fuse block over here so it just does flush out here. Passenger side has a little bit more room. My leg rests up against here, and I really don't want to cut any holes in this side, just for aesthetics reason, if nothing else. We'll have a couple gauges that we can put in down here, probably pretty minimal. Not really concerned too much. If it's hot, we'll know. Making a rattling noise, we'll know it doesn't have any oil in it. But other than that, we don't run much for feedback gauges. We'll probably put a little USB type plug-in in it for our phones, which we'll run our maps off of. We really don't need a whole lot else. We're gonna get to doing layout on this here panel. Probably cut a hole in this. Trying to figure out whether I just take a hole saw and cut it out and then zip across it with my body saw, or whether we just fire the air compressor up and that with that body saw. Get that figured out, and then we'll get the main engine harness laid in, get the plugins figured out for that. Gotta get paint ordered this week so that we can start spraying this chassis down as we go. I don't want to have to take it apart completely all the way to spray it, so we'll do some fun stuff with masking off and blocking off. Get that done, and then we'll probably jump onto this guy here. Still need to put in that secondary shear point and get some of this stuff finaled up. We're pushing hard to see whether we can get this thing done. Don't know whether Winter Jeep will be the time or not. That's the goal I've set for myself. Some components are taking a little longer than others, and shipping is uncertain at this point. So we'll let you know as we get closer what's going to happen there. Looks like we will be at Winter Jeep regardless, whether we just take Eeyore and go up and play around with some stuff up there, see some of our friends in the area. But off to the next one. Here we go. Actually worked right. We'll get her screwed in and we'll be back with you in a minute. As I was starting to drill those, I actually had the conscious thought of I should have drilled those out to 1/4-20, because we do have some 1/4-20 stainless fasteners, but I don't have any small fastener stuff here, I don't think. Let me go check. Alright, sure enough, I didn't have any number 10 bolts. So I grabbed a 1/4-20 drill, and we're going to give this thing the onion and drill it out to 1/4 inch. Okay. Screwed up. And there it is. All in. Ready to be wired up. Next step, here we go. Alright, so here's where we're at. We pulled the harness out. I went through and used a little label maker and labeled all of our connectors. However, looks like we have the wrong connector for our alternator. We went to that LS style alternator so we can get them anywhere, but our harness got built with the stock motor plug-in for the alternator, so we're going to have to change that plug, and we think we have come up to the conclusion we're missing a sub harness that goes from the crank position sensor and the knock sensor on this side back out here and hooks to this black plug-in that we have here with no name on it. So we are going to have to track that harness down, whether we have to get a new one, scavenge one out of a junkyard, or what have you. We'll have to come up with that. Let's see things in here after we got all the housing tore out of it. This is going to get clamps on it. This is a crossover hose for the radiator. Comes out over there. We'll go back and plug into the radiator. Talked to the chassis builder. He says that he believes that we're going to have to put our fuse panel, this little guy here, over here, kind of flush mounted in our firewall someplace, just due to the fact that the length on all of the harness wires are such. That's where they had originally designed it to be, but wiring's over there, labeling's done for that. It was a semi-productive day. Remember, we got this guy all installed, that cutout all done. We got all of that harness figured out without any labels on it before. It was a trial and error on where to plug everything in, but we have that figured out for the most part. Come over here to the board and find out that there's probably nothing we can cross off the list. We're gonna get out of here for tonight.
The next day.
Hey, back on the shop. Another day on the buggy project. We've got the wiring harness all plugged in, with the exception of a couple plugs here that we're still waiting on a sub harness for. We believe that if we put the ECU up on the top of the bell housing, we will have enough wire to stick the fuse panel right over here. That's going to keep us from having to cut any of our sheet metal for our doghouse or our floorboards or any of that stuff out. It'll actually leave us some accessible room here. We're just going to clear. It's going to be tight, but I think we'll be fine. We're going to build us a bracket and get the thing tacked in there, make sure that we're all where we need to be, and we'll get that done. Should give us a nice square edge to work off of. Okay, so then, hey look, the magic marker that makes its appearance. How many of you guys are old enough to remember it actually be them calling it a magic marker? Should give us just exactly enough. I'll take it back over to the saw and zip that off real quick, and then we'll match up these holes, drill those. Might even work. Probably not. Just a quick little file to keep from cutting our fingers on it while we work on it. Okay, no more super sharp edges. Now we can concentrate on getting the bolts transferred over. And see, that runs right into that if we put it that way, but if we put it upside down, so if we mount this thing upside down, though it's a little bit weird looking, we can get a little tighter in here. I don't see a problem with that. Now somewhere up here is my countersink. Take the burrs off. This will help put it on the right side. That'll work. I think we're going to go with that. Get the hot glue gun out. Fabricator hot glue gun. Ready? Eyeballs.
eyeballs.
Nothing wrong with that, do you?
And the guy could get to that bolt if he has to.
What's that?
That bolt right there to get the coil pack off.
No, if I gotta pull the coil pack off, no, you can get the bolt out.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can. Gotta pull the coil pack off. The fuse box is probably the least of my worry. This motor only has 25,000 miles on it.
So they said.
Well, we bought it from a guy that Randy used to do a lot of business with.
Oh, okay. He's
And it came out of
a wreck.
It came out of a wreck, and supposedly the car was 25,000 miles. Randy bought one that was like 150, 180,000, and we contacted him to see whether he had another motor. He said, yeah, I got one, but it's going to be more money. All right, that's weird, but well, why is this one more than the other one? He said, well, this one only has 25,000 miles on it, so.
Yeah, brand new.
Okay, so you want another $300 for a motor that's got, a quarter of the miles on it that everybody else's has? Yes, please. Another night, we're gonna get on out of here. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we'll catch you on the next one.